Hello. Yes. May I help you? Absolutely. Do you have a basket or a cart? No, that's fine. You're not interrupting anything. I'm always happy to help. Yes. That's if you would just set that right there. Yes, we will go ahead and take a look at that. Now, do you currently have prescriptions here? Because you look familiar. I think I've helped you before. Oh, it's nice to see you again. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Why, that's great. So, what can I help you with today? How can I make you smile? Well, you do have a lot. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How long has she been sick? Okay. That's right on the cusp. I would really recommend if it goes on too long, I might have her give her doctor a call, because as much as I love to help, there's really only so much we can do, here in the pharmacy. But so you say, okay, now that would be 4 days. What time did it start? Okay. What kind of cough would you say it is? Can you describe it? Well, actually, do you have anything in your basket for cough? Well, first, I guess I should ask, has she spoken with her doctor, or have you? Did you get any advice? No. Okay. Well, again, I would say if the cough goes on much longer with or without any kind of medication, I would definitely see if I could get her seen by the doctor, because it can quickly turn into something more serious, especially as you say, if it's productive. Yeah, that could be the sign of an issue. Now, is she having any trouble breathing? Can she breathe okay? All right, that's good. That's good to hear. Is she experiencing any fatigue, dizziness, disorientation, anything like that? Any fever? How would you say it's been? Okay, so like a low-grade fever. How long has that gone on? Again, I would say, honestly, if it goes on too much longer, I would definitely see if I could get her in to see a doctor. Even with the low-grade fever, if it goes on for that long, I would say if it doesn't get any better in the next 24 hours, I would definitely give the doctor a call. So, but for that cough, let me see here. Now, you say she's having trouble sleeping at night because the cough keeps her awake. Have you tried elevating her at night? No, I don't mean compliments. I mean, have you tried maybe propping her up with some pillows, or like you can get these sleep wedges that you can kind of just put behind her, so it's going to sit her up in the bed a little bit. Or if you have a recliner, you could try, having her try to sleep in the recliner where she can kind of be up a little bit. That is something I would try. But I happen to have something right here. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this product right here. Now, of course, there are brand name versions of this medication here. This is from Value Health. That's one of our generics that we carry here at the Totally Legit Pharmacy. This medication is a singular drug. It is dextromethorphan. It's a big old long word right there. You wouldn't want to get that in a spelling bee. This is a 15 milligram little gel cap like that right there. It's just like a vitamin E tablet. It has that squishy stuff on the outside. Now, you don't chew it up. You just swallow it. And these are good for 12 hours. It is a wonderful deal. So I think it's one of the best deals here in this pharmacy. Now, what this is going to do is it is going to suppress her cough. It is a cough suppressant. It's not going to make her sleepy or jittery. Really, all it does is suppress the cough. And the good thing about that is it will help her sleep. But if you are saying that she has a productive cough, you don't want to suppress it all the time because your body is trying to get rid of stuff. So we don't want to suppress that all the time. So I would not have her take this during the day. I do understand that coughs can be annoying to other people in the house, but it may be time to not worry about that right now. I would say if it gets on your nerves, maybe you could take a walk around the block or to a therapist. You could do a lot of things to just kind of remove yourself from this situation. Well, see, you could go into the kitchen and wash those dishes. You know, maybe you could vacuum that floor. And that way you wouldn't be able to hear her cough while you're running the vacuum. It's just a suggestion. So we do have this. Now, this bottle contains 15 of these soft gels. Now, that should be more than enough. Because again, as I say, my advice to you would be, if she continues to have problems, especially with that fever you mentioned, I would definitely try to get her in to see a doctor within the next, especially again with that fever, because that concerns me. I would try to do it within the next 24 hours unless you see drastic improvement, like the fever breaks, the cough gets better, minus the cough suppressant. Now, when she takes this, it may seem like she's getting better because you will not be hearing her coughing as much. Yes, indeed. Thank the Lord. But let's think about her right now, okay? She will not be coughing as much because, again, dextromethorphan is going to suppress that urge to cough. But it's not going to really fix the cough. It's not going to go away. It will come back when the dextromethorphan wears off. Now, if you do want brand name, we have Delsum. Oh, okay. Well, I've never met anyone named Delsum. Well, that's good for your granddaughter. How do you spell it? Yeah, Delsym. Yeah. Wow. What an interesting name. Okay. Wow. So you're going to are you interested in this? Now it's non-drowsy. And you maybe take this about a half hour before bedtime. You should see an effect within a half hour. So, okay. Well, I'm going to put this here for you. I'm going to put that there. Now, another thing let me see. Okay. Now, this is what I see a lot of people do when they come in here. If they have cold symptoms of any type, they might just have one or two symptoms, and they will come in and they will grab one of these multi-purpose tablets like this one that you have here, the Daytime Non-Drowsy Cold Multi-Symptom Severe. And these might work in some instances, but typically I find that most people who grab these multi-purpose bottles like this, they really don't need everything in here. Like say for example you just had in your situation she has a cough and a fever. Well, you could get something just for fever or something, and something for the cough. You don't need everything in here. And I'm a big fan of not taking, medications that you don't need to take. But a lot of people just, it's like, dealing with a mosquito with a flamethrower. Like they just want to throw everything at it. Oh, I don't find it hard to believe that you like flamethrowers. You do seem like the type. Oh, I didn't mean anything by that. I certainly did not. But let's get back to the medication. So with this Daytime Non-Drowsy Cold Multi-Symptom Severe, we have 3 drugs in this one tablet here, this little caplet. We have acetaminophen, which is going to be your pain reducer and your pain reliever and your fever reducer. We have dextromethorphan, which again, like we mentioned with that little red capsule, that is your cough suppressant. So this would have this in there. So you would not want to take both of these at the same time because you would be taking a double dose. Let's see how much is in here. Yeah, see, this has 10 milligrams of dextromethorphan, so it's almost a double dose because this is 15. The typical dose for an adult is 10 to 15 milligrams. And we also have guaifenesin, which is an expectorant, which helps to loosen chest congestion. And finally, we have phenylephrine, which is a nasal decongestant. Typically, I don't recommend phenylephrine because I find it to not be terribly effective for its intended purpose. We do have behind-the-counter pseudoephedrine, but you do have to show your ID for that. Oh, I don't mean you personally. I mean everyone has to show their ID. Right. Oh, no, I was not referring to just you. I mean anyone would have to show their ID. Okay. No, it's okay. It's all right. I don't think you're touchy. I think you've been dealing with someone at home who's not feeling well, and it can make someone a little irritable. Yes. We have some little cupcakes for sale up front. Maybe you could get yourself a little cupcake on the way out. Just a thought. So, for example, in your situation here, I would not recommend this for your spouse because this may not really be necessary. Does she have nasal congestion? Is she stuffy? See, if she's not stuffy, she doesn't need phenylephrine or pseudoephedrine. Yeah, so we know she has a cough that's keeping her awake at night. We don't want to suppress it all the time, though. So I would not recommend this. Oh, well, if she's allergic to Tylenol, you definitely do not want to give her this. Acetaminophen, the generic right here, that is generic for Tylenol. So I'm really glad you came back here because you would definitely not want to give her this. Yeah. Does she get prescriptions filled here? I would like to make a note of that very quickly if you don't mind. Do you mind if I do that? Here, hold on a minute. I think it's important. Do you know if that's in her profile here? Well, I can check. If you look up here on the screen, you can see up here. Now, this is where the patient profile is going to come up. So, what is her last name? Okay. And her first name? And can you confirm her date of birth for me? Okay. All right. And do you still live on Presnell Street? No. Well, I can update that here while we're at it. Can you give me your new address? Oh no, I won't be coming by. It's just for the records. It's not for me personally. Sir, I do apologize. I am not allowed to make house calls. It's really not appropriate. Again, if you continue to experience problems, I would recommend calling her doctor, seeing what her doctor says. But we don't make house calls. No, slipping me a 50 won't change that, sir. You can just put that away. Now, 100 won't either. Just put that away. Okay. There's a camera right up there. Okay. No, I'm not saying I want you to slip it to me somewhere else. I don't want you slipping me anything. You just put that away. So, what's the number? In the street? Now, is that an apartment? Okay. 3A. Is that in Camden? Okay. I thought it was. I wasn't sure. And that zip code? Okay. Right. Just check that one time if you would for me and make sure that looks correct. Okay. Okay, here for her drug allergies, I don't have anything. So you said she is allergic to acetaminophen. Or Tylenol, you said? Was it just Tylenol? Or was it maybe Tylenol with something else, like Tylenol PM? Just Tylenol. Okay, I'm going to put in here acetaminophen. That's again. No, that is Tylenol. That is Tylenol. See, Tylenol is the brand name. Acetaminophen is the generic. That's the actual name of the drug that is labeled as Tylenol. See, like, let me show you. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. Well, right here. This is a good example. I have a little trial pack of Advil PM. We actually have them right over there on that little shelf. Now, Advil, as everyone knows, is the name of, a medication that you can buy over the counter. Advil. So, that is the brand name. Now, the generic name is ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. Yes. And this also has diphenhydramine in it, which is generic Benadryl. And that is the PM part because it makes people sleepy. Typically, not everyone though. Some people, it doesn't make them sleepy. Yes, in fact, my grandmother, Benadryl never made her sleepy. She just did not experience that. It actually made her kind of fidgety. It like gave her energy somehow. I don't know. So anyway, so these are the two, just the generic trade names, the generic names of these drugs, and this is just the brand name right here. But you can get ibuprofen, just the generic, and you don't have to pay for that brand name. So it saves you some money to get the generic. So that's why in her drug allergies I put acetaminophen, because acetaminophen can be in anything. It's in a bunch of different medications. For example, the one that you brought up here has that active ingredient in Tylenol. It has it in here among other drugs. It has other stuff in it too. So I really would not recommend this. Yeah. So, all right, now for her fever, do you have anything for that in here? Oh, you have lots of beer. Okay, I don't know that that's really good for her right now. I don't think I would be drinking a lot of alcohol because it can kind of dry you out. She does need to, well, yeah, she does need to drink plenty of fluids, but typically when we tell you that, we mean like water or juice or maybe something like a Pedialyte or Gatorade or something like that. We don't mean beer. Well, I guess you could drink it. Yes, how convenient that you are available to dispose of it. You're a very thoughtful husband. Okay, so do you have anything in there for her fever? Is she doing anything to help treat the fever? I don't know that watching Jerry Springer will really help. Even the reruns, yeah, even the ones from the 90s, I really don't see how that affects a fever. Well, sometimes the stuff our parents tell us is not entirely accurate. It's not medically sound, Maybe it worked for her mom. I don't really think that it does. I'm thinking maybe that was a coincidence. Let me see what I have here. Now, this is the first thing I picked up. This definitely will not work. You see the problem with this medication right here? Right, it does say tension headache. And she doesn't have a tension headache, correct? Does she have a headache at all? Okay. Well, this has acetaminophen in it, so we know we don't want to give her that. Not if she's allergic to it. So, let's see if we have anything else that would work. We do have all-day pain relief. This is naproxen sodium, and this is the generic version of Aleve. Have you heard of Aleve? This is the same product, but from Value Health, you can get this for only $1.25 for 10 tablets, and the brand name is about $6 for the same amount, so it's a wonderful savings. Now, naproxen sodium is definitely not acetaminophen. It's in the NSAID family. Are you familiar with that? NSAID. NSAIDs are things like ibuprofen and naproxen sodium. It's non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and that includes naproxen sodium. And it is also a fever reducer. So it's a pain reliever, but it is also a fever reducer. So it kind of, well, it doesn't really have to know which to do in the body. So you just take it and that's just the effect it has on your body. You don't have to tell it which to do. It just sort of happens. It's like the magic of pharmaceuticals. You don't really have to think about it. You just take the medication according to the instructions on the bottle, and it takes care of the rest. So would you be interested in the naproxen sodium? Okay, great. I'm going to put this here. So far, we have two things. We have the cough suppressant, and we have the fever reducer and the naproxen sodium here. That's very nice. Dextromethorphan was the name of this. Yes, and this is, right, naproxen sodium. Very good. So we have two things here. Is she experiencing, does she have chest congestion? Okay, so can you describe to me, does she say it hurts when she coughs? Does she have pain in her chest? Sometimes. Well, again, I cannot stress enough, it sounds like she's been a real trooper with this sickness that she has. And you too, yes, I'm sorry, you too. You've been really good. Yeah. You've suffered. I know you've suffered. You mentioned that. That's very sweet of you. If she continues to have problems, I would definitely take her to the doctor. I would not let it go on too much longer, especially since, now just when you say that it feels like something's being ripped out of her lungs when she coughs, how long has she been saying she feels like that? Yeah, that and the fever. Honestly, I would give it, let's see, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Honestly, it's starting to concern me. I would say if by 3 or 4 o'clock she's not feeling better, I would go ahead and call the doctor. I'm very concerned about her. Oh no, don't bring her here. No, she doesn't need to be out traveling. She needs to be resting. Yeah, don't bring her here. No. I want her to save her energy to go to the doctor. Okay, don't have her come in here, no. It wouldn't be good for her or anyone at all, and I can only imagine what it would be like for you and what you would tell me about your experience of bringing her here. So, I would say by this afternoon, if she's not doing better, I'll go ahead and give the doctor's office a call. They probably wouldn't be able to see her today, but maybe tomorrow, maybe they can fit her in. So, I would definitely do that. But in the meantime, I have 2 recommendations for that, just for now. But again, I would definitely talk to her doctor if it goes so much longer. Now, I have this product here. Now, this is Mucus Relief. This is also from Value Health, and it's another generic. This is just guaifenesin. Guaifenesin. Not guacamole. No, guaifenesin. It's not. No, it's nothing like guacamole. No. Oh, you were making a joke. Oh, well, that's just hilarious. 400 milligrams of guaifenesin. This is the actual size of the tablet, but I can tell you from personal experience, when you already have a very sore throat, or you just don't feel good, these tablets feel like they're about this big. So, there are 15 caplets in here. Now, guaifenesin is an expectorant. And an expectorant helps to loosen the congestion in your chest, to kind of help loosen it up so you can expel it more easily and a little less painfully, hopefully. But I would say when you take this, you definitely want to make sure that you drink plenty of water. Not just to swallow the caplet, but because the more water you can drink, the better, because that water in your body will also help to loosen that congestion up. The more hydrated you are, the looser it's going to be and the easier it's going to be to go on and get it out. I know it's gross, but it's just part of being a human, you know, it's just what we deal with. So it even says so right here. Look at this. Thins and loosens mucus and relieves chest congestion. So I would recommend giving her some of this when you get home, along with the naproxen sodium, and make sure she drinks plenty of liquids, water, juice, you know, what ginger ale, whatever you can get her to drink. You know, maybe get her some popsicles. Maybe she could eat a popsicle. Now, does she have soreness in her throat? Okay, just a little bit. Well, it might help. A popsicle might help with the sore throat a little bit. If you're saying it's not too bad, I wouldn't worry about getting anything extra for sore throat unless you want to get her some cough drops or something. But I would definitely recommend the mucus relief, the guaifenesin. Now, you can get this in a brand name if you want to. The brand name is Mucinex for this product. Now, it is the exact same. Yet there's Mucinex. There are different versions of Mucinex, which will be guaifenesin with an additional drug added to it. But for your case, I would recommend just the guaifenesin. All we're trying to do is loosen that stuff up, because it definitely needs to come out. So that is your guaifenesin. So we now have three things. So I know you're anxious to get back to her. Oh, well, which leg? Oh, well, why don't you? How long ago did you get hit with a weed whacker? Oh, okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, you can actually just lift your pants leg. Oh, that's pus. Okay, that's bad. Okay. Have you been to the doctor for this? I'm guessing you have not. Well, running it under a cold tap doesn't really fix this. So, what happened? Oh, well, you know, sometimes when we're not feeling well, someone asking us to get up and make spaghetti can lead us to do pretty crazy things. I'm sorry she came at you with a weed whacker, but, you know, I'm not justifying it. But I kind of get the sentiment here. But we definitely want to take care of that. I do have some first aid supplies for you. Now, one thing I do have are alcohol prep pads. Do you have anything at home to clean the wound with, like perhaps some hydrogen peroxide or anything? You could even, you know, get in the tub and soak it, you know, like clean it with soap and water and just keep it, you know. Can you do that? Well, if you just have a shower, you could do the same thing. Just get in there and let the water run over it, clean it. And then you can just take some of these individual little prep pads here. There are 100 in this box. It's only $1.25. You can use these to cleanse the area, just like that. So you could, I'm going to get that for you. I've never heard of anyone being allergic to Band-Aids. I've never heard of anyone being allergic to Band-Aids as related to childhood trauma. Oh, okay. So you're saying you're allergic to Band-Aids because you were traumatized as a child by your grandmother using cheap Band-Aids. Oh, they were made of duct tape. Okay, that's understandable. I can see where that would be traumatic. Ooh, especially on your arm. Okay, well, we won't do Band-Aids then. Are you okay with tape? Can you do, now this is not duct tape, it's paper tape. Look at this. This is from Speed Care, and this tape is perfect for sensitive skin. And so it's not going to irritate your skin. It's going to stick just enough. Or we could also go with gentle tape. Now this is a very popular item that we sell here. Gentle tape is safe for sensitive skin also. There's 3 yards in here. Personally, I think you would do better with the gentle tape. It's a little bit more stretchy. Well, it's a lot more stretchy than the paper tape. So I don't remember them using that in Karate Kid, did they? Well, let's just go with the gentle tape for now. So what I want you to do, I want you to keep an eye on that wound even after you do what I suggest, okay? I would go home, give your wife the medication, make sure she drinks plenty of liquid. I want you to keep an eye on her temperature. Take her temperature before she takes the naproxen sodium and write it down. It could be handy for the doctor if you start keeping a log, keeping track of not just her temperature, but her symptoms over the next day or so if you don't get her in right away. It could be helpful. But again, if that temperature does not come down, I definitely want you to take her somewhere, okay? So after you do that, see if she needs anything. You go ahead and clean the weed whacker wound. And yes, I would recommend changing clothes because I imagine the underside of your pants is pretty devastating by now. So some clean clothes would be good. Go ahead and clean it. And then we're going to take these gauze pads right here. These are from Curad. You get 10 of these. And your little gentle tape right here, so it's not a Band-Aid. Don't worry about a Band-Aid. We have that. I am also going to recommend this product for you. This is a triple antibiotic ointment. It's like generic Neosporin. Are you familiar with Neosporin? No, not the guy from the Matrix. No. Neosporin. That's not his full name. No, it's the name. No, it's a brand name. This is from Natureplex, and it has the same active ingredients as Neosporin Original Ointment. And it doesn't sting when you apply it. It's very gentle. The tube is in this box right here. And you go ahead, clean the area thoroughly, dry it, take a clean towel or a clean paper towel or something and just dab the area. Don't rub it, just pat it dry with a clean towel or a paper towel. Dab it dry, don't rub it. And then you're going to take a little bit of this ointment and you're going to put it on there. You need just a thin layer, you don't need a whole lot. Do not apply the ointment on the skin that you want the tape to stick to because it will cause the tape to not stick properly. Make sure the skin around the wound is clean and dry before you attempt to apply the tape. Otherwise, it might not stick very well. And then what I want you to do, I'm going to take these gauze pads right here. Now these gauze pads are individually wrapped, so they're very clean and sterile. I'm going to take one out of the paper packaging, place it over the wound. Now, can I see it one more time? Okay. Now these are 2 inches square. You might need 2 of these to cover that. So just take whatever you need, place it over the wound. So you're going to lay it on the wound. Just have your leg just, kind of horizontal so it will stay in place. And then you're going to take the gentle tape and put it over this so that it comes into contact with your skin and it will hold it in place. Now you want to check this at least 2 or 3 times a day. You want to change out your gauze pads and you might want to get a couple of these rolls of tape. Now, if it starts to look red or more inflamed, I am a little concerned about that pus. Why would you put Vaseline on it? I thought that was pus. That's Vaseline? Okay, well, I'm starting to think we might not want to listen to Mom so much for medical advice. Jerry Springer is not going to bring down a fever, and Vaseline is not the same as Neosporin. Did you at least clean the wound? Okay, Vaseline does not clean the wound. and it's not going to fix it. Yeah. So I definitely, that's a relief though to know that that's not pus. That's good. From here, it kind of looked like it. It's the fluorescent white in here. So that's good. I want you to keep an eye on it. Now, I know you have your hands full taking care of your wife, but you also want to take care of that leg, okay? And you keep an eye on that. And if it starts to look red or swollen, or if it starts to feel, if you start having more pain, or you start to run a fever, if you feel any change in your health in general, please get it addressed as soon as possible by a licensed medical physician somewhere, or at least an LPN or someone. So I'm going to put these to you. You want these? Okay. So I got your gentle tape. Have your gauze here. I'm going to get that back in your basket, and also your triple antibiotic ointment. Yes. Now this is a 0.33 ounce tube. That should be enough because you don't have to use a lot per application. But make sure that every time you change that dressing out, that you clean the area, dry it, and put on fresh gauze and fresh tape and another coating of this. Okay? And definitely keep an eye on it and make sure that you address any changes again if it starts to look swollen or red, or you notice any change, unless it starts to look like it's getting better. That's what we want. Definitely don't let it go too long if it starts to get worse. You definitely want to have somebody look at it because you might need some medical intervention for that. But hopefully home care will take care of that. So once again, I want to make sure that you take care of your wife's sickness and that she sees a doctor. She doesn't see improvement with the medications that we have here for her today. So again, we have the naproxen sodium for her fever, since she is allergic to Tylenol, acetaminophen. We have her dextromethorphan, which again, I only want her to take this when she's ready to go to bed, not during the day. I know the cough is annoying. Yes, but she has to do it, okay? It's her body trying to heal itself. You need to let it do that. So I would just give her one of these at night, dextromethorphan. And then finally, we have the guaifenesin, 400 milligrams for her mucus relief. Yeah, so, and this she can take according to the instructions. You want to take this one caplet every 4 hours, and it does say in the instructions that you do want to take that with a full glass of water, and you want to make sure to continue to have her drink fluids throughout the day, especially water. But if she won't drink water but she will drink juice, it's better than nothing, or Gatorade or something like that, whatever you can get her to drink. So, but preferably water. Does she like ice water? Just like you could do like a little insulated cup with a straw, you know, and some ice water. Sometimes that makes it a little more palatable. I know I prefer ice water. So that is her guaifenesin. So we have 3 medications for her. And then for your weed whacker wound, we have, again, the instructions, and I want you to go home and wash that area thoroughly. Put on some clean pants. Clean it with the alcohol prep pads from Curad here. And you do have 100 of these. Then, after it's nice and dry, you want to apply a thin layer of triple antibiotic ointment to the affected area. Over the affected area, then you add the Curad gauze pads to cover the wound. And then finally, we take the gentle tape. It's a little stretchy, which is nice. That way when you move, it kind of moves with you and it doesn't feel so tight. You put the gentle tape over the gauze to come into contact with your skin to hold it in place. So that is everything for you today. Is there anything else I can help you with today? You absolutely can take it up front to pay, and don't forget to get a cupcake on your way out. Okay, you have to take care of yourself too. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad I could help you today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys get better. And I'll see you again soon.